This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good afternoon, it's Wednesday, July 9, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help and the stigma. On the news this afternoon. Environmentalist Uyi worried government is yet to provide equipment to clear blocked drainages in Port Harcourt. Former Rivers Council boss confirms end to media war among political supporters. Labour Party chieftain Peter Obi denies meeting Abacha, releases appointment letter from Junta. JAMB announces cut-off mark for admission into universities. On the foreign scene, US cuts visa validity for most Nigerian applicants. I'm Ifechuku Moyeli with the news. Environmentalist in River State, Mishak Uyi, is worried that the government has not provided equipment to clear some of the blocked drainages in the Port Harcourt metropolis and its environs, despite the continued heavy rainfall that has resulted in flash flooding. Mr. Uyi expressed this concern in an interview with correspondent Suebi Oluwade while complaining about the absence of deliberate measures by the government at all levels to address cases of flash flooding in the state.
June, July, and September is the peak of rain. It will get worse. You see the drainages, most of the drainages in Port Harcourt, unfortunately, are covered drainages. And there are no facilities, to desilt them. Usually, covered drainages like we have in Port Harcourt and come with machineries in helping to desilt them. Unfortunately for us here, we don't have those equipments to help desilting them. These drainages must be desilted if we are not going incurring losses and damages. Fortunately for us, it has not come to the situation of Mokwa in Niger State.
The environment manager called on relevant authorities, including the sole administrator of the local government areas, to immediately carry out indiscriminate dumping of waste to reduce the intensity of flash flooding in the state. He, however, explained the health hazards that come with urban flash flooding.
Don't you know that when this rain comes like this, homes are flooded. It affects all electrical appliances, groundwater, boreholes, and that is even the worst. Do you know that anytime it floods like this, all boreholes are contaminated, and these ways also flow and enter the drainages, and that is even, something that residents have not even taken cognizance of. Apart from the physical damages, the health risk to it associated with waterborne disease is unimaginable, and that is what some people have not even taken note of.
I recall that for the past days, there has been heavy rainfall in parts of Port Harcourt, and it may not be unconnected with the prediction by Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET that there will be rainy and thundery weather conditions from Monday to Wednesday across the country. Now, yesterday, the River State government said it supports a plan by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to deploy teams to flood-prone areas in the state to educate residents on flood preparedness and mitigation measures. A statement by the Senior Special Advisor on Media to the River State government, Hector Ibiko-Wubo, said the deployment is in response to a recent advisory by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, which listed River State among the high-risk areas for potential flooding this year. The government urged residents, particularly those living in flood-prone communities, to take necessary precautions to safeguard lives and property. The statement also warned against illegal land reclamation, including the unapproved development of wetlands and other ecological sensitive areas. The government vows to take strict legal action against individuals or organizations found culpable. The government also advised residents to clear drainages and avoid dumping waste in waterways, relocate to safer grounds if living in flood-prone areas, cooperate cooperate with emergency response teams and follow official advisories and report illegal and land reclamation and other environmental violations to relevant authorities. Away from that, the Director, Center for Peace and Conflict Studies at the University of Port Harcourt, Ikechukwu Ifeanacho, has called on the major political actors to sustain the peaceful political atmosphere by giving matching orders to their followers to buy into the recent peace deals. Professor Ifeanacho gave this advice in an interview with correspondent Yobiyoruwari while speaking on steps Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the FCT minister should take to improve on the peace deal reached.
It's very important that the major gladiators now tell their followers, sheet your swords. We have agreed on peace and we must work together to achieve the peace. Because if you are moving forward as a leader and your followers still stand that it is not over, then you're wasting your time. We expect leaders to also do that. Are you sincere with what you are saying? Once sincerity is there, we can live in peace in Rivers State.
The peace advocate also urged critical stakeholders like traditional rulers in the state to intensify effort to ensure the peace process is completely achieved.
Yeah, I expect the major stakeholders to come out now, including traditional rulers, and call their sons, call them to say, we have had enough of this problem. Let us now move forward peacefully. No victor, no vanquished. Peace in this case is a tumultuous relationship between them towards what should unite them. There is no end to it. But if there is a sincere and deliberate movement away from issues, we will have peace in Rivers State.
In the meantime, former caretaker committee chairman of Ikwere local government area, Darlington Orji, confirmed that the followers of both leaders have stopped their media war since the birth of the peace deal between the FCT minister and Governor Fubara.
You will agree with me that we are no longer attacking each other either on social media, either on print media, or even on televisions. We have decided peace is the way to go, and everybody has shoot their sword. Every other thing will begin when His Excellency returns to office. Actions and other engagements will continue. Even in the past, is that three of us, we are all in the same political party. We didn't shift grounds. We disagreed on issues, and now that we have come back together, development is our watchword. So we are waiting the recall of His Excellency the Governor, and Rivers State will progress from there.
Dr. Orji said the followers of both leaders are committed to sustaining the peaceful settlement so that development can thrive in the state.
Form of democracy is better than the best of military government. And as far as we are concerned, what Rivers people need is peace. And if the principal actors, which is my principal and our former governor, have come together, have looked at all conditions and the situation and where Rivers State is now, and have decided that all hands must be on deck to bring up development strides in Rivers State. That is what we believe. So for us, we enter the complete agreement of the peace. And we don't have any choice other than to believe in the peace process. And not only believing in this process, we are going to practicalize it.
Well, in another development, Labour Party chieftain Peter Obi has denied meeting former head of state, the late General Sani Abacha, clarifying his relationship with the late ruler. In a post on X today, Obi released an official appointment letter from 1996 to debunk allegations that he worked for the military leader. Abacha ruled Nigeria from 1993 until his death in 1998. His regime was criticized for widespread human rights violations, suppression of dissent, and large-scale looting of public funds. Many critics had accused Obi of secretly collaborating with the Abacha regime, but the former Anambra State governor released a document appointing him to a federal government task force on port decongestion. Now, the Senate has rejected allegations by the House of Representatives that it has been stalling legislative progress by delaying concurrence on bills passed by the lower chamber. During the plenary yesterday, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and the Senate Leader, Obeyemi Bamidele, clarified the Senate's position, insisting that the upper chamber has been diligent in attending to bills forwarded by the House, responding to recent claims that the Senate failed to act on over 140 House-passed bills. The Senate Leader said the Senate considered no fewer than 6 concurrence bills just last week. Still to come, Presidency says ADC coalition will collapse in 6 months. Stay with us. As the African Democratic Congress ADC coalition will collapse within 6 months due to a lack of ideology. Speaking on Channels Television, Special Advisor to the President on Policy Communication, Daniel Bwala, said the Vice Presidential candidate of Labour Party LP in the 2023 elections, Dati Baba Ahmed, already sensed the looming crisis. Last week, Baba Ahmed said the battle for a presidential candidate could pose a major challenge for the ADC, warning that the excitement trailing the coalition should be managed and that citizens should not be consumed by it. However, Bwala dismissed any threat from the ADC, saying the coalition has been unable to present alternative policies that could convince Nigerians to vote for them. Away from that, the murder trial of 12 suspects accused of killing a female police inspector, Christiana Erekere, was again stalled yesterday at the State High Court in Port Harcourt. Now, this followed the absence of one of the defense counsels to 4 of the defendants in the matter. Mr. Sunday Wormon, now correspondent Emeka Otoka, reports that when the matter was called up, one of the defense counsels, Mr. Sonny Nwokoro, informed the court that Wormon had informed him that he was stuck on the road and would not make it to the court. The trial judge, Justice Augusta Chukwu, after expressing displeasure over the attitude of the defense counsels in the matter, adjourned the matter to July 9, 11, 15, and 18th of July 2025 for continuation of cross-examination of 9th defense witness. I recall that late Inspector Christiana Erekere was allegedly killed on April 24, 2024 during a stop-and-search duty at the Taba Police Division in Kana local government area of the state. The suspects were reportedly traveling from Delta State to Akwa Ibom for a traditional marriage ceremony. Now, the Rivers State Police Command says it has rescued one Matthew John Zephaniah, a kidnapped victim, following a coordinated operation by operatives of the command. Now, the command, in a statement, said the rescue was possible following credible intelligence. It said operatives drawn from tactical unit and divisions within the Oyibo Area Command, in collaboration with OSPAC local vigilante groups, were swiftly mobilized to the suspected kidnappers' den at Awonchia Forest, opened fire on them, and there was an exchange of fire. It said the police overpowered the kidnappers, who abandoned the victim and fled with gunshot wounds. It said the victim was rescued unhurt and has been debriefed and reunited with his family. Moving on now, a 65-year-old woman, Mrs. Fortune Tenedam, has accused the management of the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital UPTH of victimization and forceful eviction from her official quarter. Tenedam, who is a widow, told our correspondent that the chief medical director of UPTH, Henry Oboma, ordered the deroofing of her apartment in her absence after previously threatening and attempting to assault her.
CMD been invite all the staffs wey get this house issue, so invite me. That day sef I nowhere. I did for my daughter's place. He say 8 o'clock. I ran. My mind be say as I go there, he go talk to me. Well, oh my sister, sorry for all these 5 years where you don't stay without salary. But when I reach there, the thing I seen a different thing. The CMD rise up, carrying 2 hands. One come beat me. All the staffs and security where they there, come the whole and say, sir, no now. Somebody where they sick, where come answer call. Things say when I come, he go tell me something we go make me happy. Come begin the bully me.
Mrs. Tenedam said, contrary to claims, she was employed by the hospital management in 1986 and retired in 2021 as a higher dental surgery technician, adding that she's yet to be paid gratuity and pensions. The mother of 4 said life has been very difficult since her alleged forceful eviction. She also explained that the nurses' quarters in Omoko, Alo, was uncompleted and abandoned for over 40 years before she moved in and rehabilitated the structure. She's now calling for compensation and justice. Our correspondent cited copies of her appointment letter, last promotion, and other official documents. Earlier, the management of UPTH said Tenedam is not a staff member of the hospital and was never officially allocated accommodation by the institution. In a statement signed by the head of corporate affairs and public relations, Elaba Alexandra Mini, the hospital said the matter has been formally reported to the police. According to the statement, the apartment in question was allegedly deroofed and vandalized by Tenedam prior to her departure, despite several written notices from the hospital requesting her to vacate the premises. The management further alleged that Tenedam accommodated individuals of questionable character suspected to be linked to various criminal activities in the area. UPTH urged the public to disregard the allegations made by the retired nurse, reaffirming its commitment to the welfare of its legitimate and recognized staff. In other news, the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board JAMB has announced 150 as the cutoff mark for admission into universities. JAMB made the decision during the 2025 policy meeting on admissions held in Abuja yesterday. Now, it said the cutoff mark for colleges for nursing stands at 140, colleges of agriculture 100, while colleges of education remain 100. On his part, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, said the federal government has formally set 16 years as the minimum age, for admission into Nigeria's tertiary institutions. The minister, who said the age requirement is mandatory and non-negotiable, warned that heads of institutions found complicit in admission fraud will face strict legal consequences. And now we go straight to business. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery is planning to end crude importation by December 2025, a move that will replace hundreds of thousands of barrels a day of imported oil. A Bloomberg report quoting the vice president at Dangote Industries, who oversees the 650,000 barrel a day plant in Lagos, Devakumar Edwin, said contracts with foreign crude suppliers will expire and the refinery will source its feedstock locally. He said the company has imported crude from Brazil, Angola, Ghana, and Equatorial Guinea. However, he said improved relations between the refinery, local oil traders, and the government will result in a steady supply of Nigerian crude. When implemented, the move leaves the refinery relying fully on Nigerian crude as a substitute for its imports. In entertainment, Joseph Aloba, the father of the late singer Mohbad, has approached the Court of Appeal in Lagos State to challenge last week's decision of the State High Court, which refused his application to quash the DPP's legal advice absolving Naira Marley and Sam Larry on allegations of being involved in his son's death. In a notice of appeal filed on Monday by his lawyer, Wahab Shitu, the appellant, Aloba, claimed that the trial court erred in law when it held that the settled and unassailable and when he held that the power of the Attorney General under Section 211, subsection 1 of the Constitution are settled and unassailable, and that the Attorney General's discretion in prosecutorial matters is absolute and non-justiciable, subject only to political or public accountability. The court is yet to fix a date for the appeal. Now, in sports, Arsenal are prepared to offer a player swap for Crystal Palace midfielder Eberechi and look set to beat Tottenham Hotspur to the Englishman's signature.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
The U.S. has announced changes to its non-immigrant visa policy for Nigeria. In a statement, the U.S. Department of State said it is cutting the duration and conditions under which most Nigerian travelers can enter the country. It said starting 8 July, nearly all non-immigrant and non-diplomatic visas issued to Nigerian citizens will now be single entry and valid for only 3 months. It says this is part of a global reciprocity realignment, a sharp shift from previous visa terms, which often allowed for multiple entries over 2 years or more. Nigeria also offers single-entry visas valid for 3 months, only for those planning to visit the country from the U.S. The federal government is yet to speak on this. The State Department says visa policies remain subject to ongoing review and may change depending on evolving diplomatic security and immigration benchmarks. The news this afternoon you heard. Environmentalist Uyi is worried that the state government is here to provide equipment to clear blocked drainages in Port Harcourt. A former Rivers Council boss has confirmed the end to media war among political supporters. Labour Party chieftain Peter Obi has denied meeting late head of state Abacha and has released his appointment letter from the junta. JAMB has announced the cut-off mark for admissions into universities. On the foreign scene, U.S. has cut the visa validity for most Nigerian applicants. The news was edited by Martha Okiri. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.